So, comrades, once again, thanks everyone for joining the Sydney May Day to Port Kembla May Day, and off we go.
They're funding more submarines to create more overseas military bases when the US already has 850 and China only has 1.
I'm marching for my children and my grandchildren. The last thing we need is war. All those things that could be spent on. There's education, health, just the betterment of Australian society.
And you can tell me why you're marching today.
For the same reason, I want there to be good jobs. I want there to be a clean, healthy environment for my kids. This is a working port. It's got a grain terminal. It's got other things going in and out. Where are they going to go? Where these subs that we don't need are brought in.
Marching today to protest against nuclear subs and war. Rich people start wars, poor people die in them. So we're here to say no to AUKUS, no war on China, and if Albanese doesn't stop the drive to war, we'll stop it for him.
Money for health and education, not for war and devastation.
What do you think of the roll-up shown in Port Kembla?
Oh, it's marvellous to be here. There's hundreds of comrades have come down from Sydney. I think it really just speaks to how important this issue is to the hearts and minds of ordinary people in New South Wales. Look, we really just wanted to make sure that the people of Wollongong knew that Sydney was coming, we were coming together, and that this issue is not theirs to fight alone, we're there with them. So we all pulled together and came down as a convoy so that as one we can say, not just to the people of Wollongong but to the people of Australia, that we're never going to accept these subs. Not now, not ever.
We've had the best convoy. We had about 20 or 30 cars from the train station in Wollongong out to Port Kembla, blocking the streets up, flags, banners, all the cars marked up. No to AUKUS, no to war, dealing with the cost of living crisis, money for education, money for health. They're the things that are priorities for working people in these communities, and especially in a community like Port Kembla. What you're dealing with in Port Kembla is a choice between the future of renewable energy or a choice between nuclear power, nuclear weapons and the military-industrial complex. There's no contest. We've got to fight for renewables all the way.
We're out on the streets on Workers' Day in the port of Port Kembla, Union Town, to fight against AUKUS. What a ridiculous prospect to have nuclear subs in this port at the expense of renewable energy and green energy jobs for workers in this town.
We want our money, our funds, to fund health, education, the NDIS, a proper social welfare system. And if we're going to build ships, build merchant ships by Australians on those vessels so that we can trade with our neighbours and build this region so that everyone's lifted from the bottom up.
We've got an opportunity to eliminate poverty. We've got an opportunity to build social housing. We've got an opportunity to improve our education system, our healthcare system, our aged care, which is in crisis. Everywhere we look, we see the cost of living crisis, and we're wasting $350 billion on nuclear-powered submarines. The community in Port Kembla have always fought for justice in this community. They're going to oppose nuclear submarines, and the MUA and fighting unions are going to be alongside them.
Mate, it's great to see the amount of young people that are getting involved in this sort of dispute. It's democratic right to dispute, mate, and they're going really well down here. As you can see around the place, 75% of them are young people.
Mate, I'm here to stop the AUKUS sub deal going down in Port Kembla, mate. We don't want them down here. It's going to take valuable union jobs away from the wharf down here.
This is celebrating workers' rights. There's lots to do for the community. We always use our power for more than our own wages and conditions, but for social justice, for the betterment of our community, and that's what we're all celebrating here, and reinforcing our power to do that as unions.
Well, it's the people down here that don't want the nuclear subs in their area, and we don't want it in our area, so we've got to support each other.
Our town! Whose town? Our town! Whose port? Our port! Whose port? Our port! The workers united will never be defeated! The workers united will never be defeated!
Oh, it's a great turnout in Port Kembla. It's fantastic to have it in Port Kembla. Like, it's really, really great. It's a big turnout of the MUA members and all of the unions. It's fantastic. Well done, South Coast Labor Council.
Union Town at its finest, with all of our friends in solidarity from Sydney, from Newcastle, from the Blue Mountains, from the ACT. It's a great day for the working class, a great day for our port, and we're here to say that this is no place for a nuclear base.
We don't want Port Kembla to be a submarine base. We don't want $380 billion of submarines coming up and down our coast. We want these ports for workers, for jobs, for peace and for justice. We're out here today to prove that.
How about the jobs we're going to lose when they take away the opportunity for good renewable jobs in this port? Because it's been said on many occasions there is just not room for both. We have an opportunity in this town. We have an opportunity for good, strong jobs in the renewable sector, good, strong union jobs, and they want to jeopardise that.
It's a credit to the South Coast Labor Council and all the other unions from around the state, especially Sydney guys coming down. Shows support and solidarity that we've got for this area. The general public too have turned up in numbers to give their support to this worthy cause.
Oh, fantastic, mate. A lot of history in this town, and it shows again today. A couple of, probably 2,000 or 3,000 people have rolled up, community workers together, friends together. Just show where Port Kembla's all about, mate. No place for a nuclear base here, and it's a working class town, always has been, and we're proud of it, mate.
MUA members are here from Newcastle, they're here from Sydney, and there's a big rollout of MUA members from Port Kembla. And there's our own working class issues we've got to fight for and deal with. We've got repressive laws, still repressive laws. Intractable bargaining's got to go. Workers need the right to strike. A cost of living crisis in this country could be solved almost overnight if workers had the right to strike, because that's the real problem. We're dealing with profit-driven inflation. Companies making huge profits, and workers haven't had a real increase in their wages for a long, long time. And because they've been shackled by anti-union, anti-worker laws which have got to be removed.